It is Wednesday night. On Wednesday night, we have nutrition and wholeness for life and also with health. I'm Dr. Patricia James. I am the founder of PKJ's Global Ministry. And we have different facets, and this is one of the facets that we're talking about because we want to be whole and we want to be fit. And we want to be fit in our mind, our body, and our spirit. So today we want to talk about the 12 guidelines to better health. We all want to be healthy because we know health is the new wealth. So some of the 12 guidelines would be focus on practical application. I always want to give you something that you can live with for the rest of your life. So we want you to be fit for life. That's life, lifelong impact for every day. So the 12 guidelines focus on practical daily application of science and also of scripture and their recommendation for better health. So these simple principles that I'm about to give you, they're natural remedies and they are proven to promote health and also to prevent disease. So the 12 guidelines that we're going to talk about tonight is to give you for better health. The first one, to enjoy fresh air. We know that we're in the COVID-19 season, the virus. We have been quarantined or we're safer at home, but it's very important that you go outside, if it's just for a few minutes, and to enjoy some fresh air or to go and get you some vitamin D. The second one is to drink at least 8 glasses of water daily. Your body is comprised mostly of fluids, so it's important that you drink. So when you're drinking, you're replenishing yourself, and then also it's going to help with your skin. And you know, your skin is the largest organ of the body, so we need to make sure that we stay hydrated, because when you get in the state of being dehydrated, it could bring on different mental symptoms like confusion. It could be an altered mental status. So we want to make sure that you're the sharpest that you can be. And so the third one is to eat wholesome, unrefined, plant-based food. This means that if you can find fresh, is better. But if you can find it frozen. So, and I understand the new freight that everyone is trying to get the fresh. And a lot of times, if we're looking at the whole economic upheaval that's going on, that sometimes it may not be possible or economical enough for everyone to get the fresh produce. And that's why we encourage you to start a small garden outside of your home. And so if you can't get fresh, the next best thing would be frozen, that you can get that, and that way you're not getting all of the process, you're not getting a lot of the sodium. But then there's still people may not even have access to have all of that refrigeration and freezer that they need to maintain that at the proper temperature. So we can say you can utilize some of your canned products. And when you're using for your canned products for your vegetable, in order to eliminate some of the sodium content, you can rinse it off. Just go ahead, you know, that the fluids, the liquids that already in that container, pour it out, rinse it off. And that way you're eliminating probably 50% or more of that sodium. Okay, that fourth one, and we talk about 12 guidelines to better health. And the fourth one is to exercise daily, at least 30 to 60 minutes. And we're talking about active exercise, whether it's walking, it could be dancing, it could be, because, you know, I get up with my grandson and we do dance with me. And I may not be doing it perfectly, but guess what? My body is in motion. And guess what? It burns calories. It get my heart rate up and it's enjoyable. So find something that you enjoy to do. Do you not know cleaning your house, you know, that can put your heart rate up so that you can utilize that as a form of exercise? Go outside and play basketball. I was looking at my grandson and I was like, oh my God, I just can't believe that my grandson is now taller than I am. 2 years ago, my grandson was at my shoulder, and right now he is taller than I am. But you know what? We're out there, we're playing basketball. I do what I can do. And that's where you can start where you are, but be intentional. What I do, I have, in order for me to maintain that goal of 30 to 60 minutes on my Apple I have a tracker. And so there's different ways that you can track, whether you have a pedometer, whether on your iPhone, you have different ways that you can track whether you're um, being active. So in being active, we want to make sure that you're getting at least. So you have to have a goal. And so when you set that goal that I want to do 30 to 60 minutes, that's a target that we can shoot for, because these are practical application. These are 12 guidelines to better health. And number 5, get adequate sleep and rest. And it says 7 to 9 hours daily. Oh my God. And that's one area I have to work on, because sometimes, even though I lay the body down, but then the mind is still talking. The mind is still saying it's not time to go to bed. So we have to create a habit. And so we create habits that are intended for change. So you're going to have to be intentional, just like with drinking your water, about getting the best part of your fruits, your vegetables, and whether you're doing whole wheat or whether you're, get the best what you can do. Start where you are and be intentional, but get adequate sleep and rest, because what I found out, when you're not getting that rest that you need, that it's going to affect everything else. And in essence, it can slow your metabolism down. It can be that you're decreasing your intake, you're increasing your activity, but this component is still out of whack because it's not a balance. Then it's saying, no, I'm not going to release that. I'm not going to allow them to lose weight. And so you need to add that rest inside of that. And number 6 is getting modest sunshine. And so that's just like we were saying, get outside, enjoy your fresh air, get sunshine. And it says moderate, a minimum of 30 minutes a day. Get you that vitamin D. Go outside. You don't have to take the pills. Go outside and get you some vitamin D. And number 7, avoid alcohol and other drugs. That, alcohol, you're going to have, if you're drinking too much outside of the box, I don't drink alcohol, but there are some people that may drink alcohol. So there's a limit, because you don't want to have that altered mental status, and you don't want that alcohol to take you into another area that you don't want to be in, and those other different type of drugs. So make sure that there's a limit on your alcohol and also your drugs. And I'm talking about those drugs, those prescribed drugs. I'm not talking about, those drugs that's on the marketplace. You may need to eliminate those all the way. I know there's all kind of things that's going on that's saying that is good for you, but if you don't have a prescription, you need to leave that alone. Okay. So now we're going to go to number 8. Observe the rules of cleanliness and good hygiene. So we know with the COVID-19, we need to wash our hands. We need to do the social distance. We need to make sure that we're cognizant, because it's a natural proclivity to put your hands up in your face, but be intentional that you're not going to put your hands in your face or in your eyes, because you're carrying all this germ and bacteria on your hands. And then you're touching different surfaces that somebody else may have touched. So make sure that you're washing your hand. I went in and I said, come here, Caleb. And I want you to do this with your children or with your spouse or your family. Just see whether they really know how to wash their hands. You would be amazed. And so I gave him the whole process, and I did it right there along with him, so I could show him these are some of the areas that people miss. These are some of the areas on the thumb, on the top, and then you got to use that friction. That friction is what's going to kill that bacteria. So make sure that you're washing, you're getting between there, you're going all there, getting on your thumbs, and then you just doing it like that. And then when you're rinsing it off, you're allowing the water to flow freely off of your hands. And, they know about saying the ABCs, but, you got to make sure you're showing them, because some of them want to go do a little quickie. And sometimes it's good, just like in healthcare, we had to do hand washing competencies every year during our skills fair. So this is something that, you just take a minute to go and you show them just how to do it. Make it fun. Let me see what you're doing. And you look at what I'm doing and see how we can just have fun doing it. But practice good cleanliness and good hygiene. Number 9, maintain a positive attitude. Your attitude will determine your latitude. You know, when you're getting up and you're already saying being negative, then what you're doing, you're setting your day up. You're setting your day. If you're already being negative, saying I can't have, I can't be, I can't do, you got to get up and say, this is the day that the Lord has made, and I'm rejoicing and I'm glad in it. I'm going to be great today. I'm going to accomplish my tasks. I'm going to accomplish my goals that I set forward. So you got to have the right attitude, and don't allow anyone to steal your joy, because the joy of the Lord is your strength. So you have to maintain. When I say maintain, because, there's obstacles, there's barriers. Do you not know that the enemy is out there to steal, kill, and destroy? So you have to be intentional. One of the abilities that God have given me throughout all of my career is the ability to remain calm under stress and under pressure. Because, I often tell them, if someone else is acting out of character, or they're getting angry, they're getting loud, you don't need to do that. Because the minute that you step out and you start acting like that individual, you have given up your power. That person have taken your power. So don't allow anyone to steal your power. You just have to smile at them, because you're not putting anything on the fire for them to continue in that behavior, and just say, I'm going to smile, I'm going to have joy, and I'm not going to give you my power today. So then we have number 10, you cherish good relationship. So this is your opportunity, whether it's your family, whether it's friends, people in the congregation, you may have in your social circle, you got to cherish those relationships. Because what is going to happen, you're going to have to trust God, and then you're going to have support from others. See, God is your resource, but He has placed people around us that we're able to come together in synergy, that we're able to have those crucial conversations so that we can utilize these guidelines for practical daily application, so that we're going to embrace wholeness. There's a balance with your mind, your body, and your spirit. This is nutrition and wholeness for life, so that you can have a lifelong impact for every day. And guess what? It's also good for everybody. So number 11, wear appropriate clothing for temperature, for your circulation. Make sure that you're not, in a habit of, those shoes are too small. Go and change your shoes. That you just got to be real, that you may have been in this quarantine and you may have put on a few pounds, and now you're trying to squeeze back in those clothes. No, go and find you the appropriate clothing, so that you won't be cutting off your circulation. We're going to pause and let you think about that, because we want you to be fit by God's design. And then you can work toward a goal that you're able to fit back appropriately in the clothes without it sticking to you, and that you're exposing yourself. So you will need to wear appropriate clothing for temperature, for circulation, for movement. Don't just be wearing it because it look good. It may look good, but it may not be effective for what you're trying to do. Example, if you're out there trying to exercise and you're really trying to get it intense, and you do doing the moves like you're supposed to with your tricep, your bicep, you're doing your squats and you're doing your lunges. But then if you're constantly pulling and saying, well, I may be exposing my boobs, and my blouse keep going up, and I'm exposing my belly, or when I'm stooping over, you got to be real to that and also be true. That I got on this color, and you know what? It's showing all. So just be cognizant of what you're putting on. Get in the mirror. And if you're somebody that's doing that, because I always, if you're somebody that shout, and when you minister and you're going to be leaning over. So what I try to do, I'm going to lean over, and I'm going to throw my arms up. I'm going to do these things to see whether it's going to be a appropriate, because I don't want to do anything or portray anything that's gonna lessen the character and integrity that I'm trying to portray. So make sure that you wear appropriate clothing. Number 12, trust in God's power. Now, while we're talking about nutrition and wholeness for life and to have great health, because health is wealth, we just went over the 12 guidelines to better health. And number 12 is vital. You got to trust in God's power. Proverbs 3 and 5 and 6 says, trust in the Lord with all of your heart. Lean not unto your own understanding. In all thy ways, you acknowledge him. And guess what? He'll direct your path. And you got to trust the God in you. And you got to trust the process. You got to trust God's timing. You got to trust that this is what God says I can have, I can be, I can do. See, get in a place where Philippians says, I can do what? All things through Christ who strengthened me. So these are the 12 principles. It was enjoy fresh air, drink a minimum of 8 glasses of water, eat wholesome, unrefined, plant-based food. And then I gave you different ways that if, because, I used to do consultation in the rural areas. And in the rural areas, if you're constantly talking about lettuce and you're talking about all these different things that they don't have access to. See, because, I'm your reality dietitian, I will always tell them. I said, because I don't fit the mold of what the model of the general population. Because the general population, a dietitian is a female and white and blonde. Guess what? I don't fit any of those categories. And I say, well, I'm your reality dietitian. And God has sent me to talk to real people who lives in a real world and ready for what? Real change. So I like to get down right where you are and do it on an individual basis, because a lot of times we can see these blanket patterns, but it may not fit your pattern, may not fit your household, may not fit what you have going on. And so I have to assess you to see, well, what is your normal pattern? What is your grocery? What do you have in your cabinet? What kind of refrigeration? Some people take all of this for granted, but there's a lot of people that may not even have access to the things that we're trying to educate. So I always try to start where you are. And that's why it's vital for us to do a self-evaluation. And then you always can contact a professional who can meet you where you are. I have been a professional nutritional consultant since 1997. And I have my own professional company. It's My Heart to You, Professional Nutritional Consultant Services. And then you can always contact me at Dr. Pat at patriciakjames.com, or you can go to my website. Nutrition and Wholeness for Life is a part of the umbrella of PKJ's global ministry. And see, because God has given me a mandate with 4 different areas: prayer, serving, and ministry. And then it comes to your health, and then it's nutrition, and then it's fitness. So to do everything in a balance so they can be fit by God's design. Because God has created you in his image and his likeness. And I just pray that you continue to join in with me as we journey through all of the different facets. On a different night, you would get a different product. And we got something exciting going on, that we're about to launch PCM Academy. That is Patricia's Collaborative Mentoring Academy. And it's going to kick off on June the 30th with a masterclass. It will be Relentless Believers of Global Believers of Prayer, Intercessors for the Kingdom, that we want to create effective habits so that you can be an effective intercessor, to be an ambassador for the kingdom. So you can also go on that same website, www.patriciakjames.com, go on the services, and then you can go ahead and click that register button. And once you click the register button, it will take you to a place where you can put your information. And once they send me an email, then I'll send you back that you're registered. And there's different means that you can pay. You can do a Cash App at $ my heart to you, or you can do PayPal or contact me and we'll discuss that payment plan. It's $125 for 6 weeks. So from my heart to yours, you be empowered. Remember that I'm Dr. Patricia K. James of Global Ministry, and that God has given me a mandate to empower you, to maximize your potential, to ignite your passion so that you can fulfill your purpose and activate your faith so that you can be released to make an impact. That's what it's about, an impact in this world, and to walk in total fitness in your mind, your body, and your spirit with a mandate. Yes, you are enough. And I'm Dr. Patricia K. James, and I do approve this message. So until the next time, you be blessed, and I will see you tomorrow.